But if we think about that now, okay, with a blade in hand.
Don't you stab me in the privates. Don't you stab me in the privates.
Well, that would be an option, okay? Or your Publix. I could stab you in your Publix or your privates. But anyway, if we think about that edge now being on the inside, okay, and I've got this grip, you know, this edge right here, as far as just tearing that hamstring up here, boom, just like so, and then following back up. That's how.
I feel so naked.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus. Pick it up.
Hey, a lot of you think that John Lovell's the only one prepared around here at WPS, but guess what? No, that's not the case, and it doesnn't have to be for you either. We got hats, we got body armor, we've got blades, we've got all the things that you need to get out there on the range and crush. If you want to be prepared like me, head on over to warriorpoetsociety.com and check out the store. We got everything you might need to play Army Man.
All right, what's happening, my friends out there in YouTube land? Today we're visited by a dear friend, Craig Douglas, industry expert. He's a Jedi Knight Ninja knife fighter guru, for reals, man. And so anyway, he puts the blade on the wrong side of the blade, and I want to know why. And so this is a knife that you've never seen before, and so we're going to talk about some of the methodology. You're going to learn some cool guy knife fighting stuff and maybe pop some misinformation about how knife fighting may go. Now, to catch you up, I also have some stuff that we've done with him before. This is my war belt, and it's super snazzy and awesome. You can get these on our website. But this knife is like a push dagger, and I'm able to have this knife on and I can grab and then do sticky stabby ninja things. Also, I have my old Clinch Pick knife right here, and I love this. It's for like the entangled knife gunfighting stuff when something is all of a sudden right up on you, as bad guys are ambush hunters. Love the Clinch Pick as somebody's on top of me, whether we're pushed up against a wall, we're in a real tight confined space, I'm on the ground, I'm always able to either get my hand to this knife and be able to stab and rip where everything's nice and close. Notice the blade is on the wrong side, and I'm rushing through this because I want to get Craig here so that he can teach us ninja stuff, but I want to kind of catch you up to speed on some of the stuff that is uniquely his. One is that push dagger that I wear in my war belt, and two is this Clinch Pick. This is to survive a close ambush. So if, let's say I'm in a car seat even, I can always take my hips up to my hand to be able to grab this and then be able to hip into somebody. And imagine me like having them in the guard or something like that, to be able to hip in, and Craig would say it's a space maker, so that you're able to grab and just tear and rip where I'm really strong like that. Even if I was grabbing with the other hand, I'm teaching too much, but man, I'm a trainer and I like this stuff. To be able to grab with the offhand, and maybe I'm like catching somebody who is diving in on me, and I can grab and rip, and so that's part of why it would be on the wrong side in this case too. But I'm going to allow our real ninja knife fighter guru to be able to teach us some of that stuff. So let's do the cool guy title package and a little montage thing. Can we do that on this video? We'll do that now. Here we go. All right, folks, as promised, I did not lie. It's Craig, and he has knife things. Good to see you again, brother.
Good to see you, man. Thanks for having me here. I appreciate it. Always good to be connected to your audience and do stuff together and, you know, work our relationship and everything we do, man. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. We have two asks for you today. One, teach us some kind of like kung fu-ery.
Kung fu-ery. I thought it was ninja-ery.
They're synonyms, as I understand. And the second thing, why do you keep putting blades on the wrong side of a knife?
Everybody asks me that. They're like, why did you put the edge on the wrong side?
Yeah.
You know, and I've got a backwards knife right here, as a lot of our knives are set up. This is the Disciple, which is actually our first Shivworks blade that we ever came out with, full-size blade. And we brought this to market after I started writing about the efficacy of putting the edge on the opposite side. So when we talk about a reverse edge, essentially what we're talking about is in the thumb side grip, just like so. Now essentially the edge is facing me, or in the pinky side grip, just like so. Again, the edge is facing me, which is just backwards, how you'd normally think of orienting a blade. Well, you know, most of the time, edges are on the outside for chore work when you're pushing away. And what we see in most knife engagements, which are relatively close, knives come out in clinches and ground fights quite a bit. The efficacy of the blade being on the edge being on the wrong side allows us to do a lot of things to break grips, counter grabs, and so on and so forth. So I have the trainer on me, just like so, okay? We have the nice Shivworks black and blue trainer, Simunition's blue. So if you think about this, essentially with the edge now facing me on this trainer, for example, if I were to like try and stab you and you were to do something reflexive, like just throw your right arm down, you know, like that. Okay.
Not what I would do. I immediately hate it. I would go here.
You would do something like that.
Here.
And even, and we'll talk about that here in just a second, but if you were to just do a layman move,
sure,
throw that arm down. If you look now on this edge orientation, okay, well, the edge is facing you. So it's really easy for me to use the power of my back muscles, almost like I'm doing a cable row, and just take that and open that forearm up, kind of like I'd be filleting a fish.
Yeah.
You know, even when we do see guys do things like attach for like a baseball bat 2-on-1. Well, again, I've got this edge right here that I can work into you, okay? And I can pull with my back to break that grip. So it's really a counter grappling knife more than anything. We see conventional wrestling, a single leg, like we'd normally see a guy pick up a single leg right here, okay? So think about this kind of move.
I'm gonna have to whizzer and hip in. That's
exactly, exactly.
Just so you know, I know what to do. Sorry,
you know,
go ahead.
Exactly what to do. But if we think about that now, okay, with a blade in hand.
Don't you stab me in the privates. Don't you stab me in the privates.
Well, that would be an option, okay? Or your Publix. I could stab you in your Publix or your privates. But anyway, if we think about that edge now being on the inside, okay, and I've got this grip, you know, this edge right here, as far as just tearing that hamstring up here, boom, just like so, and then following back up. That's how.
I feel so naked.
I know, right? Cut your clothes off.
I'm about to be a eunuch.
Yeah, body locks or tie plums and things like that. You know, if we think about a traditional plum where, you know, I've got you kind of here in this kind of grip, just like so. If we think about the edge now with this blade in hand being on the inside and me having a grip like this, you know, being able to do any kind of work to break grips, a body lock, you know, if you were to take me in a body lock and I have this in hand, just having this inner edge instead of having to try and turn the knife over, well, I've got all my pull muscles right here, okay? So as far as me being able to like hip forward, boom, put the edge in, all right, work this in, just like so. That inner edge gives us all kinds of advantages in breaking range, breaking grips. It supports wrestling, it supports jiu-jitsu, and personally, I just think there's so much you can do with the inner edge for generally where you see knives come out in fights.
We have the Clinch Pick, live blade. We have the Clinch Pick, which does a lot of the same stuff, and this is a downward diagonal draw,
correct,
which I really love.
Me too.
However, the knife is short. Is the whole point of this is same idea, it's just a longer blade?
A little bit bigger. So if a guy were to run a blade as a primary, say he was in a place where he couldn't carry a handgun, but he can legally carry a fixed blade knife, great option for the kind of fracas you're probably going to be involved in. You know, it's for guys that have bigger hands, the Clinch Pick can be kind of small. If they want to set that up in the Clinch Pick orientation, or they want to run it primary and a point down, you can set this knife up any way you want to, you know, user's choice. But yeah, this inner edge right here, and even at range, this allows you to do some really nasty, sneaky kind of pull cuts. So with this inner edge, instead of pushing the edge through like we would see in a lot of conventional application. Essentially what I'm going to do now is I'm going to kind of throw this out there like I'm thrusting. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this back real quickly. So a lot of times you'll see like a guy who's like parrying, okay, like a thrust with your left hand. So parry. So if I'm throwing this this point at you and you're trying to keep this out of your face, you'd parry that here. Yeah, that kind of thing. Trying to keep the blade away. What I can do now is I can hook that hand, okay, and then follow back with my thrust with this inner edge, and I'm pulling actually with my lats here, just like so. So it's a real short arc. It's a sneaky cut. It's very difficult to defend. You don't see it coming. Inner thigh cuts, things like that. You know, I could be out here kind of faking high, and I could come in, look, boom, here, and pick this up.
That could femoral artery
It's
right there, because that you just got so much muscle to rip back
Yeah,
with.
and you're so
well,
much.
I do. You don't.
Yeah, I mean, old skinny guy, you know.
Have you seen this?
That's what am I looking at?
Oh, just shut up, man. You embarrassed me in front of my friends.
John, I can tell you've been working out because your chest is almost flat now. So
it's hurtful. It's hurtful. Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe right now. But anyway, yeah, these it's a real unusual way of using the edge, and people don't see it coming. It's hard to defend against. You always get bit. And as far as, you know, counter grappling or biting this edge into someone to break grips, body locks, use it to support things like tie plums, and it's just really, it's a fairly insidious design. So I think the inner edge is, and now if you could carry a double-edged knife legally,
yeah,
then by all means do so, but in a lot of state laws, you know, it's specifically written dagger and things like that, and that implies a double-edged knife. So all the Shivworks knives, the factory knives are single-edged knives. Make them as legal as possible in as many places as possible. We do have custom double-edged knives in both the Clinch Pick and the Disciple
that are ridiculously expensive.
Oh,
but
yeah.
if you want them, you can get them. It's
Yeah.
just like these are reasonably
Yeah,
priced.
absolutely.
These are,
Yeah,
like
$100.
a bill.
Yeah.
And then the the double-edged custom ones.
Well,
are
and
like,
that's why
"Ugh."
we came out with two lines. You know, we wanted something that if you're a pride of ownership guy and you want to drop $400 on a blade, cool, do that, right?
I feel like I just got stabbed in the privates again.
Well, I mean, but guys
They're
will
awesome. They're
they'll
awesome,
spend
but-
$2,000 on a Glock, you know, but won't spend $400 on a knife. It's kind of like, you know, I don't care how people spend their money, but still in all. Or if you're the guy that's like, look, if I use this, it's going to be in an evidence bag for 2 years, and I don't want to boo-hoo, you know, because I have a $400 knife sitting in there. Then we've got the, you know, the production knives, and they're all single-edged.
Sure. Well, if I survived the thing, what I'm not upset about is like, oh, my knife is gone. It's like I survived, and
Yeah,
that's
because your house, you've probably sold your house to defend yourself. You
no
know?
kidding, no kidding, for sure.
Unfortunately.
True or false? The damage and penetration of the blade is equal to the length of the blade. So, for instance, Clinch Pick, very short knife. So the damage and penetration I get is the length of the blade.
No, absolutely false.
Why not?
Because due to tissue compression, when I hit as hard as I can with my body, I'm probably getting, you know, 6 inches.
Because the body gives, and so though it may be this long, you may be getting much more penetration.
100%.
Because the body gives.
100%.
What about if like you hit me and I flex, is like it gives none?
Yeah, actually, in your case, John, there would be absolutely, I'm not sure that blade would even get into you.
I gotta double down on arrogance because you clipped my wings last time. I'm hoping I squeak out some hubris here.
Yeah, it's a little bit of hubris.
Very
so,
good. Well,
yeah.
awesome. These knives are available on our website if you want to check them out down below. Also, Craig's all links as well, so make sure you get some good training with him. He's training all the time and has some really cool inventions, so make sure you visit links down below. Before we left, though, we have our WPS Fox folder. It's not the quick draw that the Clinch Pick is, which is kind of like my survive and ambush. This is more of like the concept is we got a work knife here, but I could also move into kind of like a push daggery kind of thing, and it looks you know, super dope. And to be able to it's not fast, but it's not super slow either. to get it out and put away. What do you think of our knife? And be nice.
Be nice.
Be nice.
I'll
give you some cash.
Okay.
Not a lot.
Some cash.
Not a lot.
Not a lot. I like it. I mean, that's a solid design. That's not going to yaw in your hand or anything like that. You know, and any folder is a compromise. You know, a folder's greatest attribute is that it folds. It's convenient, and its greatest liability as a weapon is that it folds. You know, so they're all compromises, but some people, you know, that's all they can carry is a folder. So I think something like this, man, that's a solid option. Plus, you know, you get to, you know, play with it and flick it back and forth, and you know, it's kind of like the fidget spinner for the tactical guy.
It's a lethal fidget spinner.
It's a lethal fidget spinner. So no, I like it quite a bit. Feels good in the hand. That would definitely cause some damage.
That would ruin my day if somebody kept punching me with that.
Over and over.
I'd be like, hey, stop punching me with that.
Yeah, stop. Hey, stop punching me with that in the face.
Stupid. You always put me in such a weird mood.
Yeah,
it's like I always want to mess with you.
I know you do, right? Why do you do that?
I don't know. I just can't stop poking the bear.
Poking.
Very good.
Ow.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, make sure your notifications bell is toggled to all. Share, again, hit up the links down below. Do you have like a snazzy sign off? Do you say something epic? Or
no, other than, hey guys, train hard. John and I, in all seriousness, think about you as patrons, not students. You support guys like us, and you allow us to live the dream. So thank you very much. We really appreciate your patronage, and hopefully we'll catch you on the road somewhere in person.
Yep, awesome. Train hard, train smart. We'll see you next time, guys. See ya.